Baby's got a black eye, and that's the least of her problems. It's episode 11 of In Real Life. We just got back from an out-of-town trip. We went up to the Smoky Mountains to meet up with some bloggers and just kind of have some family time, talk about our businesses, and it was so inspiring, rejuvenating, and just really awesome. But on our way out of town, we remembered, oh gosh, we've got to get Paloma disposable diapers. So we go to this local store, the only one that was available, and I went to looking for green diapers, and they just had one brand. And I knew when I was buying them, like, this might not be good, because I remember reviewing these diapers in my Green Diaper Showdown video, and I remember that they were rough. And Paloma has very delicate skin. So all week I was lathering her up with coconut oil, trying to be preventative to, just to kind of ward off any kind of issue. But sure enough, by the time we got home, she had literally a fire engine butt. I mean, this thing was bright red. She was so sore and just inflamed down there. And to the point where she kind of waddled a little bit, and I couldn't hold her in certain ways because it hurt her butt so bad. I mean, it's heartbreaking to see that. So that was problem number one. Then she developed a cold. So it must have been being around all these kids at that retreat that she just got some new germs in her system, and she had a full-on head cold. The snot, the discoloration, everything. And in fact, usually it's Griffin that gets these kinds of things. I think this is like the first bona fide cold that she's had. I mean, maybe not the first, but the worst that she's had. So she was sneezing all night, just goopy and goppy, and we had to give her showers, which she absolutely hates, and just to clean her up well. And so that was problem number two. Then she ends up getting a black eye. And now, frankly, I don't really know 100% how this happened. It was either Griffin accidentally whacked her with a toy, or she fell on the tail of a dinosaur toy. Either way, it looked pretty bad. She had a shiner. And she was a super trooper about it. She barely even cried, but it looked just so painful. So I'm like, here's my girl, fire engine butt, black eye, bad head cold, and I think she's teething. So main point, life ain't easy, even when you're a baby. In the midst of all this, Paloma and I went and ran errands, and I put her in the back seat. She's still facing rear, and buckle her in, and we start driving, and all of a sudden I hear from the back seat, like, oh my gosh, what a great attitude to have, Miss Paloma. Just to be hopeful and positive, even in the midst of uncomfortability and pain and struggle. I thought, you go, Paloma. It was really symbolic for me, because it just reminded me that in life, sometimes things are really hard and everything feels like it's falling apart and you're in pain and you're uncomfortable. But if we can just find one little thread of hope, or just remember that God loves us, just that alone, and just hold on to that in the midst of it. Or just find one thing that you're grateful for, or one thing that you love, whether it's a warm cup of tea or a bubble bath or whatever it is, and focus on that. It can really help us kind of draw out of that mood, pull us out of that hole that we get into, and just have a new perspective. So again, my children continue to teach me big things.
Yummy.
Okay, here are some meals from this week. This was a fun one to make. It's something I normally wouldn't try, but it was in my real plans for the week, and it's shrimp pad thai. So lots of veggies, fish sauce, coconut milk, and coconut oil with a little coconut sugar, and it turned out delicious. I served it on brown rice pad thai noodles. This was just a simple night. I made a big vegetable frittata with sprouted toast and some turkey sausage and a little side of fruit. This was a huge vat of grass-fed chili. I soaked the beans beforehand, we made it, it turned out really good, and we ate off of it for several days. This is a vegetarian taco salad. And finally, this is a slow-cooked chicken breast with sage, onions, and garlic, and I served it with sprouted brown rice and steamed kale.
Yeah, mate. Hey, little mate. Yeah.
I can't get in that thing.
Listen to your body.
Oh, you got a big one. Wow. What? No way, dude. You did it! Oh, wow!
For this week's question, instead of asking you about your kids' black eyes, because let's face it, that's depressing, but if you really want to share, you can. But I wanted to ask you, do you use Periscope? Do you like it? What do you use it for? What do you like to see there? I've tried to do a couple scopes, and frankly, I just feel like I'm rambling about nothing really important or significant or useful. So I had this idea, well, actually a friend of mine had this idea, that I should review products because I get a ton of people reaching out to me, I want you to try this, like I want you to try this vitamin, this probiotic, this deodorant. I mean, I could go on, and so I thought it would be fun if they could send me the product and then I could just unbox it and show you what it is and give you my unbiased thoughts on it. And who knows, maybe it would save you some money from buying any of these products, or maybe you discover a new product that you really like. So if that sounds interesting to you, or if you think there's anything else you'd like to see me do on Periscope, please put it in the comments below.